Hello. 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 Is this thing on? Hello. Hello out there. And welcome to the Digital Quill podcast with your host Mars Wilson. I am a failure. I am a failure in so many ways. And I have failed. I didn't do what I said I was going to do. Stay off my phone for an entire 24 hours. As a matter of fact, I did all of the opposite things of what I said I was going to do. At the end of the day, is it okay? Yes. But I still failed. And I know there's another day. And I learned a lot from the other day, of which I failed. But I still failed. And I am allowed to feel however the heck I wish to feel about it. And I feel annoyed, miffed, perturbed, off. My entire flow is now off because I didn't do what I said I was going to do. I am a failure. I failed. And the only thing I can do with that failure is get better and improve. Or do nothing and continue to fail in a different regard. Not sure I really like that one. We talked about the 7 deadly sins in a prior episode, in a short prior episode. And, doing nothing. Doing nothing. Doing nothing is the equivalent of sloth. You're not helping yourself by doing nothing. And you're not helping the people around you by doing nothing. And sometimes I wonder what's worse, not doing something for yourself that benefits you, or not doing something for the community or the people you love that benefit them. And I feel like they can't really be quantifiable in the same breath. I feel like those are quantifiable in different regards. I don't know really what to talk about today. I didn't create notes. My head's kind of all over the place. I'm not really sure how present in the moment I am in any of the moments, in the last moments of moments of moments. Snapshots. And the cats are doing their fighting thing. Lovely. Guys. If you hear a lot of sounds in the background and somehow the microphone picks it up, I'm sorry. The cats are insane today for some reason. Not that that's anything really new. Let's see here. Just get this cord closer to myself. I know I'm kind of stalling, but the problem is a lot of problems. There's so many problems. I'd rather not talk about those problems because I like to try to keep a space of like goodness. But also, if you've been here before, you know that that's not entirely true. I like this space, my spaces, my online digital spaces, or my in-person spaces to be a true canvas for absolute humanity and the human condition. And what I mean by that is the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, the all of it, the everything of it, because I know there's a lot of content creators out there. They're so gung-ho on positivity only. And that's good. That's well and good. Like, keep doing that shit, by all means. But also, let's not forget that sometimes life has a polarity to it. An opposite that kind of needs to exist. Unfortunately. And I know I've talked about this before in earlier episodes. So if you're curious about my thoughts on these subjects, Start at the beginning. The very beginning is a very good place to start. When you read, you begin with A, B, C. When you sing, you begin with... Anyway, weird side, fun, echololia tangent aside. What is words? Words are weird. Anyway. I have also failed in other regards, not just yesterday. Yesterday was certainly a lesson in a lot of things. The me that existed yesterday would not have existed several years ago. I'm just gonna say that. But I've been saying I'm gonna get back into my blogging and writing on the blogs, and I have, kind of, but I've also been procrastinating. Why? Probably the same reasons I've been doing it anyway, but I'm more aware of it and in the instances of which it happens and why the instances are kind of sort of happening. So yeah, what the hell? All I hear in the background was splat, like something going into water, and I look over and Storm lifts her paw up and it's drenched. Okay, cat, you do you. That explains so much, though, about why there's always a puddle of water around the thing, because you... Oh my god, cat. It's you. You're the one. I know I've been saying I'm going to be doing the blog stuff, and one of those things I was going to start doing was the CoStar app and how it relates to my current present world, because while I don't subscribe to you piece of fucking work, it does provide an interesting point of reference. So like that being present thing I talked about earlier, in like a momentary moment, in a small moment of, I don't know, fucking present-ishness, I like to read these things, and I'll share some screenshots in the description on Substack. You might see them. I don't know where, probably only Substack. I don't know what other platforms that you listen to the show on do the thing. I don't even know if anyone really listens. I stopped paying attention to the metrics a while ago because I realized I'm going to be talking to nobody, or like 3 people, for at least a good couple of years. And once I got over that, I'm just kind of like, might as well be talking to myself at that point. And if that's the case, then, hey me, how's it going? I'm going to end up watching this episode one day and I'm going to be like, which I do that on a regular basis anyway when it comes to reviewing stuff I've done, and I'm like, okay, I'm definitely me. That's me. Go offline, CoStar says. I would very much like to, CoStar. I had yesterday planned for being offline off my phone and only doing things digitally for work on my laptop, because I kind of need the laptop, but, go ahead and rub salt in the wound or whatever. I'm certain on like a 1.4% basis that you listen to my conversations, which, by the way, I learned this trick a while ago. Goodbye microphone access. Technology, man. Receipts and bookmarks and hard drives. What the heck is a hard drive? What? Don't. Conspiracy. Bad-mouthing. And big discoveries. Well, I have a big discovery for you. It's called CoStar. Leave me the F alone. Please. I feel attacked. Personally attacked. If you go to the updates page on CoStar, where it has the go offline and today's trouble and pressure and power, and then you read like the biography of today, you feel cold. Instead of being a drop of oil and vinegar, try taking off the clown suit. Escalating tension only reveals your arrogant humanitarianism. Now, I have something to say about the last line there before we get to the second and third paragraph of that. Arrogant humanitarianism. Way to rub salt in another wound. Thank you for that. That's nice of you, CoStar, devil app. It's, I get it. I know, I've actually been thinking lately, can you be a toxic humanitarian? Yes. Yes, you can. Can you be a toxic anything that could potentially be positive? Yes. Yes, you can. But to what degree and what regard? The simplest answer, in my opinion, and you can weigh in if you'd like, if it gets to the point of affecting you adversely or those around you adversely, and not in a positive, actual beneficial way, but in a could be potentially negative later on or negative right now kind of way. I think CoStar's right. And that's like why I'm kind of mad about yesterday in a few ways, like at myself, because it's like, hey, you need a break. You do, Mars. Like, you need a break. And you didn't give that to yourself. You didn't stand firm in that. How dare you? How dare you? Bad Mars. Rubbing salt in wounds. Thank you, CoStar, for keeping me present and transfixed in the moment. It's magnificent. This month, you are ready to make a confession. This is a commendable move for someone who can shut themselves away from the world, let all the boundaries dissolve. But your main challenge right now is to invite people back into your life. Life is hard. Moodiness is understandable. Well, you got the last part correct. I am moody. I am very moody. Mostly at myself, but moody. And slightly a little bit at just in general. And also thank you for another wound of salt and rubbing in of the apps of demons. You are nice in the sense that at least an app agrees with me, I guess. What a weird way to have an echo chamber, but hey. At least an app agrees with me to some extent that I like having people in my life as long as we can be amicable to some extent or friendly and like work together even in a business type mentorship. I don't know. Like if we can end up setting our weird hurt ego feelings aside, which is hard sometimes. I am guilty of this. There's no reason to like not rebuild connections and make them stronger from the foundation of connections that were present before. Like that's like one of the things that I hate about losing friends after dating someone. Like, thanks CoStar for getting me on this subject. I don't want to talk about this, but here we are. We're here. We're on this subject and I don't... Okay, let me... That's what I hate about breakups. Especially if you were friends before. In my mind, once I'm over the emotional pain of a relationship, I want to be able to go back, not necessarily back, but like, okay, this is a bridge, right? You put your two fingers together, connect the bridge. It's a bridge. You can't see this if you're not on the video episode, but hey, whatever. This might encourage traffic to other places. I don't know. But you have a bridge, right? And when you break up, that bridge breaks. And, you know, like the bridge over ocean that lifts up and ships go through. Yeah, well, that is like the disconnection of the bridge. There's no more bridge, right? And all of the connections on that person's side are gone too. They're severed. You lose out on other conversations with other people you connected with when having that connection with them. That's like a whole separate conversation of this one. But it's still the point still stands on all sides. There is no reason that once this side of the bridge and this side of the bridge have like their time to think and like move on and like kind of have closure of some sorts to whatever that means to them, because you're not always going to get it from the other person. There's no reason that the bridges can't like kind of start trying to find a way to reconnect in a new connection, if that makes sense. I know I'm probably not making any sense, but like, because I'm also like mostly thinking out loud and don't have solid points to go off of. But there lies the beauty of captions, which I think some of these platforms have for this podcast. And I haven't really checked to see if they are correct, which I should. But no, it's more fun that way. I like connections. I like connecting with people. And maybe that's a fatal flaw of mine from not having a lot of strong connections for a good majority of my life, especially my formative years. But that's why I know and value and respect the idea of connections with everybody that much more. Because I know what it's like to not have those. It's horrible. It is so horrible to sit back and watch and see people not connecting, especially when they had good connections, and maybe it didn't work out in the way you guys wanted it to. But maybe it's going to work out in a completely unexpected possible way, and you know what? That's the beauty of being human. Yeah, shit hurts. Yeah, you're going to get your feelings hurt. Yeah, people are going to disappoint you. I get disappointed so much by myself, by my friends, by my family, by the world. But I still see the good in it. I still see the hope, and I still see the possibility of what could be if there was just a little bit of effort, energy, and time put into it. Just a smidgen, just a tidbit, just a, hey, how are you? Just a, hey, let's get lunch. Hey, hi, you're my neighbor. It's nice to meet you. Hey, how's it going? You know, like, what happened to all of that? Let's continue, because I don't want to talk about this anymore today. I am... yeah. Pressure in social life. Lovely. Today, your social world feels like a tug of war. Your need for freedom is clashing with others' expectations, creating tension that will last until you stop trying to please everyone. Shh. The friction you feel isn't a sign to retreat, but a prompt to assert your true preferences and boundaries. I'm going to shoot myself in the foot, because that feels like a shot in the foot. CoStar, hey, could we just stop? How dare. By the way, I did read this before. I'm mostly doing dramatics because it's entertaining that way, and part of my platform is to teach, inspire, motivate, or at the least entertain, which, by the way, is really easy to do sometimes, especially if you lean into the drama. Also, imagination. What the hell am I? A human? Gross. Mercury affecting self-esteem. Please, could we... oh gosh. October. October 11th, 2025 to October 14th, 2025. Is that today? Yes, it is. Mercury affecting self-esteem. You've been analyzing your significant relationships. By the way, I did read this too. I read this before deciding to read this here, and then in like a split second of before recording the podcast, I was like, CoStar might be a decent thing to pull up and read, because at least it's something to talk about, and we already have plenty to talk about in that realm. So here we go, Mars. Hit record. I'm sorry, guys. And gals. And whomstever. You've been analyzing your significant relationships. Not really surprising, considering my Virgo is in Mercury, I think. Wait, what's my chart? We'll get to that in a moment. You will find yourself frustrated in the way you've always existed in the world. Damn straight, son. These frustrations will see their beginnings in your day-to-day as it concerns significant relationships. An endless array of irritation and obstacles will affect a creative partnership or a shared daily routine. What? Exercise patience. Give things time, and the situation will calm. You don't have to make up your mind right away. But yeah, I do. Haven't you ever heard of quick thinking? We need more of those skills, Mars. Chart. Yeah, my Virgo is in Mercury. Damn it. That's not exactly necessarily a good thing. My Virgo and Venus are in, or my Virgo is in both Mercury and in Venus. And let me just say that for people who have been in romantic relationships with me in the past, I'm sorry for like almost everything. I know I've apologized to some of you before, but this is like also just general for everything I have apologized for and then some. The more I analyze like the Virgo and Mercury and the Virgo and Venus and all of the other astrological BS, which I do subscribe to, but not in the way that people think. Like, what I'm doing right here is a deep form of like what I want to call psychoanalysis. I am literally taking like the words that are being presented to me and applying them to how does this fit into my life? What does this resonate with me over? Does it make sense? Does it help me see anything clearly or through a different perspective? Am I able to detach myself and see something in a different light? Complete and total like analysis and like a wave of like detachment and attachment. And it's an interesting process. And here, what you're seeing out here and verbalizing is like 1/10 of what's going on in the noggin. It's maddening. I wish I could shut it off. So I'm using it to verbalize things out loud too, because maybe that will shut it off. Maybe by talking about it instead of just always thinking about it as a thinker, it will go away and I can sleep peacefully at night again. Fucking insomnia. I have not been sleeping well. It's like my eyes have been shutting and I have been waking up. That is what's been going on. I close eyes. Can't really tell when I fall asleep. I wake up and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. My eyes were closed for the last couple to several hours. Don't feel rested. I feel like I just time traveled. That's nice. Love it when I do that. What does Jupiter in Pisces mean again? I always forget that one. Jupiter rules idealism, optimism, and expansion. It's also very philosophical. Your Jupiter is in Pisces, meaning you grow and find understanding through empathy, dreaminess, and compassion. It's in your 12th house, meaning you find success through privacy, secrets, and introspection. I don't like secrets. Secrets don't help things. I mean, what is the true definition of manifesto? Let me see. Hold on. Manifesto definition. A public declaration of policy and aims, especially one issued before an election. What about other translations? Are there any other? Okay, so it's kind of like a interesting. So, as a writer who's been writing since I was 6, mind you, as a writer who decided to make writing and public speaking their career at a very young age as well. I'm only just now trying to pursue it with the full force of my being. It's terrifying, and thrilling. Mostly terrifying, but somewhat thrilling. Mostly terrifying, but one of the things that I know is that secrets do have some weird place in the world. They wouldn't exist if they didn't. Whether that's a good place or a bad place, I don't necessarily know. That might be subjective. I think that's a balance. But I don't like secrets. I really don't. I don't like secrets. I don't like gatekeeping. I don't like lies. I don't like any of the shit, even if it's got a place. We've been over some of these subjects. So, upon my death, there are a few friends of mine. No matter when that happens, there's a few people who know that they need to release everything. If there's ever any questions, any concerns after I am gone, everything about my life is out. That is my wish. This is something I decided a really long time ago. It's one of the reasons why I'm not really entirely careful with what I do write or think or say or speak out loud or whatever. Like, I do try to remain some era of understanding or some era of decorum, but mostly my platform and myself is about experiencing the human condition front and back, left to right, all of the sides, in every way possible. This is something I have given my entire life thought, over 20 years of it to be exact. Because there was a time I wasn't sure. A very long time I wasn't really sure if I was gonna make it. That fear still kind of resonates today, but the fact that I've made it through so much shit kind of gives me a little bit more of a positivity bump, a little bit of a boost, in the sense of I might be able to do this shit for a very long time. Good. I can make it better for the future me and not whatever the past was. And by making it better for a future me, I can leave behind a better planet, a better community, a better place for the people around me. And that is my time, humans of the world. Thank you for joining in today on this wild ride of a dramatic and entertaining and teachable, hopefully inspiring, maybe, episode of the Digital Quill podcast. This was episode, I believe, 75. So we're almost to 100, just 35 more to go, or something like that. Remember to breathe. Remember that being human is okay. Keep going, and I will see you next time. Thank you for giving me your time. Yes, OBS, I would like to stop recording.